Hey everyone. So today I would like to ask a really big question of you. Have you ever noticed that some of the greatest, most important shifts or changes in your life have come from you taking a step into the unknown? They haven't come from making a change where you more or less had an idea which way it was going to go. They came from stepping into the abyss, not having any idea how it was going to come about, but you just decided that that was the step you were going to take. It's coming up for me now in this book where it's reminding me of this, but I've heard it said from so many different people, and I realize that even in my own life. I remember years ago, I mean, it's happened since then, but the biggest one for me, I think, was when I was 22 years old, and I bought a Eurail ticket, which was a ticket which I could get on any of the trains for 2 months and going anywhere within Europe. And I bought myself a one-way ticket to Italy. Well, it wasn't Italy at the time. It was I think I landed in Holland or Belgium, and I remember it was 1990. It was in the middle of the soccer World Cup or something, and so everybody was like gathering around televisions and watching TV, and I didn't know what the fuss was about. And I was going to youth hostels, and I had arrived here with $200. That was it. That was like, and I didn't really know what any of this was going to look like. All I knew was this was something I had to do. And then you make it work. Then somehow things just fall into place and you make it work. But that's when magic happens. The magic actually takes place when you don't know, or you may not have a clear idea. You have a clear idea of the outcome perhaps, but you don't really know how you're going to get there. In that case, I had no idea of the outcome. I was just, all I wanted to do was leave where I was. I was going through a few things in my life, and of course at the time I thought the best way was to run away from it all. But it turned out to be a life choice for me because I've been living in Italy since that day, 34 years ago. And it's made up a lot of my identity today, of who I've become, of how I've built my life. And even as I move forward and I make changes and I change jobs and maybe change relationships, change houses, all of those things shift, but some things, your building blocks kind of stay there and they've made up your identity. And I'll get onto that another day maybe, but I also think that major identity shifts are also important for our well-being, because as we grow over time, some things just don't serve us anymore. And so perhaps we've always seen ourselves in a certain way or given ourselves a certain label, but once we decide to move on from that, or once it just kind of falls off because it doesn't fit anymore, magic happens there too. Anyway, I would love to hear what your opinion is on this. Perhaps even a story from when this has happened to you, something you remembered in your life where you just took a leap of faith and knew that this had to be a change in the making, even though you had no idea how it was going to end up or how you were going to do it. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.